Hey guys, first regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about weekly hard stratagem number 15 and some easy ways to complete this, just some general tips for stratagems in general. Now, this week's is actually pretty damn easy. We have the battlefield conditions on Obelisk. Number 1 is we stand as 1. Medicae stims also heal squad members in a 5-meter radius. Laramine cells, health is passively restored at a slow rate, and depleted armor. No armor boosts are available, and squad members only have 1 armor segment. This one is pretty damn easy for obvious reasons. You have a ton of healing, and the way we stand as 1 actually works in this operation here is that if you are actually on a mortal wound and your HP is high enough, you can heal your entire team with a single stim and get their mortal wound clear. So really easy for that, and Laramine cells actually restores your health quite quickly, and the only really difficult part of this entire operation is the boss spawn with the Hell Brutes. So if you have not actually logged in to do this operation yet this week, you definitely should. It's one of the easier ones. I think the reason they're making this one easy is because they know a bunch of players just came back for like the new weekly stratagems, like new heroic weapons and stuff like that. So they want to make sure people can get their accolades pretty easily. So first up, we have the build I want to talk about with precise calibration here and concentrated fire. This one is just a really easy combo in Space Marine 2 to wipe out any boss in this game. Hard stratagems do count as absolute difficulty, so you will potentially run into double boss spawns. Double boss spawns are by far one of the hardest things for most players to actually deal with, so I'm going to be building around that today and just showing you how to like easily remove those. Now, if you're in a coordinated team, precise calibration will give a 75% damage boost to your Auspex, but the Auspex scan radius is reduced by 25%, and the perk here, Concentrated Fire, will make Auspex scan zone last 60% longer, and enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 120% damage, but they lose the mark when they leave the scanned area. If you are coordinated with your guys, you will wipe out a boss in like a single Auspex here. The amount of boss damage you do off of these two is tremendous. It is insane how much damage you can actually put out, and this is like the best boss killing combo in the game. Now, on top of that, the perk up here, Secure Stockpile, can be charged restored by 1 for all squad members. Cooldown is 60 seconds. This is just a really good perk in the game in general, probably like a top 2, if not top 1 perk in the whole game. A 60-second Melt-A-Bomb, Crack Grenade, Shock Grenade, Frag, these will simply help you out in any operation whatsoever, so having this one is just a great option for, you know, a hard stratagem, kind of a no-brainer. Now, I do want to mention the weapon, the Pyroblaster. This is by far the best weapon overall for the tactical currently. It has tremendous boss damage. The boss damage on this one and horde control is actually so high that you don't even like really need an Auspex by yourself at times, but having both is still pretty nice for like that redundancy. And the biggest issue with this gun is that you don't have like the best CHP recovery ever, but it kind of makes up for that by basically wiping out every single horde and having like a percentage base like HP burn damage, so bosses do just get melted by this thing, so great option for that. Now overall, I do think the Melta Rifle is easier for Chaos. This one is just very ammo efficient on the tactical because you have the perk Emperor's Vengeance. This will basically make it so your Melta Rifle has infinite ammo, and being able to stagger Chaos Spawn is really useful in this mode. It'll also have an easy time reaching things like Zangor Enlightened, and those are like 2 of the most annoying enemies in the game for a lot of people. And on top of that, you will also have the perk here, Trick Shot, killing 5 enemies with 1 shot restores an armor segment. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Having this armor restore on your build is just really nice for Chaos, and even though we only have 1 armor, having a drip-fed armor back to us every 30 seconds is just very useful. But you know, these 2 weapons I think are the overall best. Now, Plasma is pretty good too, and I would usually avoid a lot of the bolt weapons, but the bolt carbine automatic version, this is also quite strong versus Chaos because of the CHP recovery of this is so damn high, and in patch 11.0 they finally fixed the headshot multiplier for these enemies, so really good for that. Now, another very easy build I want to talk about here would be for the Vanguard. Now, Vanguard is a very strong class in patch 11.0. He did get like a diving kick buff, or his diving kick now scales its damage based on the difficulty level, and hard stratagems are counted as like the highest difficulty level possible, so really good for that. And the perk here, Adrenaline Boost, or excuse me, not Adrenaline Boost, Adrenaline Rush, a melee kills when resource level higher enemies restore health by 5%. With this on top of the Laramine Cells stratagem modifier, you will just not die pretty much. I think I did this one solo, only had like 1 stim used at like 1 point in one of the boss fights, but besides that, you really do struggle to lose HP at all on Vanguard in this mission. I don't even think bringing this perk here, Unmatched Zeal is even worth it in this mission, because you just get so much HP back from all these other perks and like the stratagem modifiers that this time around, I would take Inner Fire instead. All of your squadrons restore abilities charged by 15% by performing finishers on resource level or higher enemies. This is one of the best cooldown perks in the entire game, and really in any horde shooter, like a perk like Inner Fire that gives you back a cooldown is going to be a top tier option. Getting more banners back, getting more Auspexes, Iron Halos, really even Assault Ground Pounds is just tremendously beneficial for your whole team, so I would definitely grab this one today because you're really not hurting at all for healing with perks like this. Now, something else I do want to mention is that you could take the Instigator Bolt Carbine or the Melter Rifle. Once again, the Melter Rifle probably is the overall best for this mode because Melter Rifle is just very good versus Chaos in general. The range variant did get a bit of a buff, but if you don't want to run out of ammunition at all, you could take the magazine capacity option because this one is just like way easier to use. You spam your shots all the time, though this one does have a bit better reach and damage. But, that is up to you. Now, obviously, one of the most powerful builds you could possibly take this entire game is, of course, with Bulwark. Even with 1 armor, Bulwark is still an incredibly powerful class of Space Marine 2. Probably the overall best class in the entire game currently. I did make a build guide talking about this Power Fist build that I will link up in the corner up here for a video link to that if you're curious. But Power Fist Bulwark, top tier, Block Fist does ludicrous amounts of damage, and your damage reduction on this class is ridiculous, on top of the fact that you have a shield the entire time to block all incoming range fire, and things like Soul Reaper Cannon Terminators with the Prestige perk here, Masterful Defense, ability charge by 1% for every blocked range attack. If a Missile Terminator is shooting their little minigun at you, you can get your banner back entirely off this perk. This perk is a god tier prestige perk in the entire game. It fits perfectly into the playstyle of the Bulwark in general. And on top of that, I would just build pure damage reduction here, because if you take Conviction here for a 25% health damage reduction, or 10 seconds on armor break on top of Seal Within for a 50% or 30% health damage reduction while you're at less than 50% HP. These will make you so damn tanky that it is very hard to die if you just get nuked by 5 things at once. A Missile Cannon Terminator could be shooting at you while a Halberd's shooting at you while a boss is also trying to pummel your head in. It is a very easy way to just live at all times in this game. It's also what I would take for Siege Mode, and Siege Mode does put you in very similar situations to hard strats, so building for that, pretty good here as well. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all of your squadrons automatically restore 1 armor segment. This is one of the best team perks in the entire game because we only have 1 armor in this mission. If that ever breaks, getting it back on a drip feed is very nice for our entire team comp here, and Focus Restoration is just a good option in general. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. This just gives you way more benefit out of your banner, and having this basically puts down a shock nade on your banner, and this will wipe out Minoris, Extremis, deal significant damage to Majoris and bosses, and overall just gives the banner way more value. Now you can take Incendiary Icon if you want to, but to be honest, I would probably just take Glory's Shield because having 20% damage reduction on top of that passively regen HP on this stratagem is very useful, and the final perk here I would take is Defensive Mastery, unless you want to take Armor Advance for no knockback. Now, that's about all I want to say about the Bulwark. You could take the Power Axe if you want to too, but it's really not that important because you're pretty damn tanky with anything, and the Block Fist does just hit like a truck, so I would just pick this one up for boss killing, because really boss killing is all that matters in this stratagem. Now, for the sniper, you can pretty much take whatever you want. I would just barrel stuff with a bolt carbine, though. If you build Purification on top of Squad Renewal here for getting all your CHP back on a single camo cloak, on top of headshotting with consecutive execution for 30-second melta bombs, you'll just wipe out everything. Pretty self-explanatory, and also in patch 11.0, the perk here, Targeted Shot, the first range attack that breaks camo cloak deals 75% more damage. This will work for 5 shots of your bolt carbine now. They did buff up the effect to linger for a little bit, so it's actually a little bit more beneficial for things like the Instigator Bolt Carbine and the Bolt Carbine automatic version, so pretty good for that. You can also get a double shot of that off of the Rate of Fire version if you do trigger the perk over here, Adamant Velocity. When your health is below 30%, shots charge 25% faster. If you have this perk active, you can potentially get 2 shots off of the last fusel with the Targeted Shot benefit. It is a very tight timing, but I just wanted to mention that here. That's pretty much all I'd say about the sniper. To be honest, guys, as long as you pick up these 2 perks here, you should be fine. Now, as far as the heavy goes, you could just take Multi-Melta. Multi-Melta did get nerfed this patch, but again, it doesn't really matter because this gun is still a top tier gun in the entire game. It went from S tier to S tier, and really, it's not really performing that worse at all. And for the perk tree, I would just set it up this way. Pick up things like Trick Shot for the same reasons we picked them up on the Melter Rifle, and the top tree in general is just better for ammo capacity and stuff like Executioner's Fire, which do up your fire rate substantially, and having the variant here for magazine capacity, I find is the overall best because it gives you way more percentage restores off of things like your auxiliary reload here, which gives you a primary weapons ammo backed by 1 magazine per execute of an extremis, but on the big weapons like this, you just get like a percentage increase. So having this larger magazine capacity helps a ton. And now plasma is also a very good option. I would just take the rate of fire variant or the ammo capacity version and just build them this way, or not this way, excuse me. I would probably build it this way, just going all the way down here, because picking up these efficient charge perks like Plasma Collection and Efficient Charge, they do help a ton. The perk here, Adamant Restoration, also very nice for triggering more ammo over and over. And then move up here, pick this up for heavy immunity, and then finish off down this area because I think this is like the overall best setup for a Plasma Incinerator. And for the perk tree, just take Encompassing Aegis. Nothing else really matters. As long as you have Encompassing Aegis, Fortitude, and the perk down here, Conviction, you should be good. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the heavy and most of the classes in this game. Now, Assault class is what I used to finish this one initially, and I would just take Precision Strike and Maneuverability or Pride and Duty. Honestly, you can set it up like this if you want to as well for Zealous Blow, but if we're being real, you will do so much damage off of your ground pounds, and all that extra HP regen on top of things like Defense Mechanism will just keep you alive. So that's really all I have to say about this one. And for the Power Axe, I would just take a Block Power Axe or a Block Power Fist because these are the two best options on this class currently. And for the Power Axe, I would set it up this way, and for the Block Fist, I once again set it up this way. That's pretty much all I have to say in this one, guys. Like, I don't really think the guide is too important on this. It's more like a general tip of what perks I think are overall good for stratagems in general, because this one, the battlefield conditions are quite easy, but some people did ask me to give them a little bit of help on this one, just some ideas of what they should use, and hopefully this guide helped. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and I hope you get your accolades from the weekly hard stratagem, because the accolades are pretty damn good in this game. And if you're curious on the best ways to get accolades in Space Marine 2, pretty much all you do is just do your daily stratagems and your weekly stratagems, and that is basically the only way to get these things outside of things like major community events, which is kind of lame. But Saber Interactive did say that one day they will be adding in more options to gain accolades, but for now it's like the only way. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this one. If you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, take it easy. Bye.